When I was in school, I was really into Dante's Inferno. I actually, on my own, read the book. And so when it came time, when I had a chance, I actually did a whole project on it, on all the different levels. So I actually really liked the story for this film.
I think you're a little bit like Sienna Brooks or Robert Langdon. You're one of those brains. See, when I was in high school, I ducked it and read the Cliff Notes and just barely got by. But of course, I did read it now that I needed to for work. And by the way, at this point in my life, it was fascinating, and I learned a lot. Not only was Dante basically inventing and defining for the West, for Western culture, the notion of good and evil and hell, but you know, it was also basically inventing the horror film, that whole genre, because those punishments are sort of everything we've come to expect in a cool, cutting-edge horror film. So it was interesting to sort of use some of that, let some of that inspire moments in the movie.
Right. I believe that of all three films, it has been said that this is the most visually stylistic. So going into this, what was your vision for it? Why did you, or how did you want to make it different than the other two?
Well, this one is really largely from Robert Langdon's point of view, and Robert Langdon's point of view is a little bit unreliable because he's not quite sure how he fits into this mystery, and therefore we can't be sure either. And what's going on in his mind as he's trying to strain to regain that superpower that he has, which is this intellectual ability to problem solve, you know, all kinds of images are coming into to his head and our screen. And so I think it suggested a different kind of cinematic tone and style. And as a director, I loved that it was fresh and challenging in a new way.
We're in Florence, so you got to shoot some actual scenes here. The locations are real, which I think is really awesome. I talked to Ben about the tower.
Right.
He's like, thank God I didn't have to actually shoot in that tower because he actually did that stunt.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to ask you about the water scene at the very end with Felicity, because she said that you guys had a real location, but you also used a water tank.
Yeah, we needed to build that tank because of all the action that we were involved in. And sometimes these tourist locations, they might let you in for a brief amount of time, but maybe not enough time to do a long, complicated sequence, particularly if there's action, you know, conflict, fights, and so forth. And so that was one of those where we had to recreate that. There was just no way to safely work down there. Here in Florence, we were very fortunate because the nature of the scenes, including the drone chase in Bobley Garden and sort of the seeing the Dante mask and all that, you know, those were all things that we could do quickly, and we could do it with cooperation of the local city.
I loved getting to see all the locations here. I felt like I was actually in the movie because I would see scenes and I'm like, yes, I remember that scene. I was looking at the painting.
And now you can imagine I get to walk by and say, yes, we shot there.
Thanks for watching this interview. As always, don't forget to subscribe and let us know what you think in the comment section below. For the next Made in Hollywood interview, click right here. Do it. Click it.